Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company's here answering your plant and garden questions. The number to call is 608-270-9933. Judy from Rock Springs is here. Judy, what's your question?
Yes, I was wondering when is the best time to transplant lavender?
Oh, I would say, Judy, the best time to plant lavender is in the spring. So you want to make sure that a lot of the moisture is out of the soil, so when you get your shovel in there that it's not sopping wet, but before the plant really starts to bud out. Now is not the time.
Okay, Judy, thank you very much. Now we have Emily from Poinette. Emily, what's your question?
Yes, hello. I have a clematis, and it's the bell-shaped blue flowers. And I'm wondering why the leaves are starting to die, and also they look kind of grayish, like they've got something on them.
Sounds like you've got a little bit of powdery mildew, Emily. That's a fungal disease that's really prevalent in the summer when it's warm and kind of damp.
Oh.
And so you can spray a fungicide on it. There are couples that are really good. I happen to like one called Revitalize. It won't make it go away, but it will stop it from developing. And then maybe next year you might want to spray preventatively around the 4th of July. That should help.
Okay, around the 4th of July.
Around the 4th of July, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Lisa.
You're welcome.
All right, now we have Roberta from Baraboo. Roberta, what's your question?
I want to know when is a good time to transplant hydrangea, and can they be split?
Most hydrangea cannot be split. They have a woody clump. It's a woody plant. They have a clump of roots, and they really don't like being split. Best time to transplant hydrangea, I would say spring is best. You could do it in the fall. You don't want to do it while it's blooming. So if you have one of the ones that blooms later in the season, you're going to want to cut it back as you transplant it so it's not trying to establish and support those flowers at the same time.
All right. We're going to go ahead and go now to Anna from Janesville. Anna, what's your question?
Yeah, I have a question. Are you there?
Yep, you can go ahead.
I'm planting a tomato plant, and it's coming up a little bit. So how long does it take to get in? Because I did it a couple weeks ago.
Oh, so tomatoes take a lot of part of the summer to actually develop and ripen fruit. If you have a cherry tomato and the summer stays kind of long like it has been the last couple of years, you should probably get some fruit around the end of September. It's usually, from the time the plant comes up to fruiting, is usually about 60 days. So you might be a little on the short side for getting some fruit.
All right, because right now it's all green, but there's no green stuff.
Yeah, you just be patient. Make sure it gets plenty of sun, and make sure that if it's in a pot that you keep it evenly watered.
No, I have it in the ground.
Okay, just make sure it's getting a lot of sun, and that if it gets dry that you water it.
Okay, yep, all right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and go to Deli from Cottage Grove. Deli, what's your question?
Hi, we have some geraniums. We had a planter with 5 of them in, and the leaves turn yellow and brown, and eventually the plants die. We tried fungicide, but they're gone, and now we're noticing it in other pots of geraniums.
Well, send us some photos to the plant desk, plantdesk@brucecompany.com. But generally when leaves are getting yellow and browning and then the plants are kind of shriveling up, a lot of times that's a sign of overwatering. So make sure that your pots are drying out between watering. I know that's hard when we get a torrential downpour. So if we're expecting a lot of rain, maybe put them back against the house where they're not going to get so much water.
I hear you, but I don't think that's the case because we've been growing geraniums for many years. We do our own cuttings and everything else, and this year is just different.
Send us some photos so that we can take a look. It's hard to diagnose things when I'm not seeing what you're seeing. So email us some photos, plantdesk@brucecompany.com.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.